Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the City of Benton Harbor Commission meeting to order, July 7, 2025. All rise. If we could have Pastor Carlton Lynch of Pilgrim Rest Missionary Baptist Church, please, if you can do the invocation, and our Pledge of Allegiance will be done by Commissioner Ron Singleton. All rise.
Lord, we thank you for this day, for your grace, and we thank you for your mercy. Thank you for loving us the way you do, providing for us. Now, God, we pray that you would lead us and guide us during this dialogue, during this conversation, during this time of city business. I pray for our leaders. I pray for our community. Bless us now. In Jesus' name, amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, which is saying one nation under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
I yield to the city clerk for roll call.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Present.
Commissioner Henderson, Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Present.
Commissioner Kennard,
Present.
Commissioner Singleton,
Present.
Commissioner Warren,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats, Mayor Mohammed.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Brings us to our approval of minutes, June 16, 2025. Is there a motion for the approval? Motion is made by First Ward Commissioner Henderson.
Support.
It is supported by Commissioner at Large Singleton. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard, Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to the approval of accounts payable listing. Is there a motion for the approval?
Motion for approval.
Motion is made by Commissioner at Large Isom. Is there a second?
Support.
It is supported by Commissioner at Large Singleton. Is there a discussion? Carry none, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Henderson, Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard, Commissioner Singleton,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren, Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to an update from our Twin Cities Transportation Authority, AKA Dollar Ride. I want to recognize the Executive Director, Professor Dr. Todd Shine.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate the opportunity to brief you about the upcoming possibilities for Dollar Ride. As you know, or may not know, the City of Benton Harbor has a millage with Dollar Ride that is due to expire on December 31st of 2027. So before that time, we'll have to have another millage election to support Dollar Ride. Dollar Ride brings in approximately $345,000 a year from this millage, which is an important part of our operation. And it also kind of defines where we place the core emphasis of our service. But what I'm here to inform you about tonight is the potential to form another authority to act as a successor to Dollar Ride. One of the things that you know is that there's an additional need for revenue and resources. And one of the challenges we have is bringing in the other municipalities, being it Benton Township, St. Joe Township, et cetera. All these municipalities and their citizens are benefiting from Dollar Ride, but they aren't full contributors. So to address that partially, we have a differential in fare fees so that residents in the city of Benton Harbor get reduced fare both to and from their destination. But there still is a need for these other municipalities to participate in a more structured way. And so what we're looking to do is form a Public Act 196 authority that will allow a lot more flexibility in configuring the municipalities that can participate and also the jurisdiction of service. Public Act 196 was used in Calhoun County, which is Battle Creek, and it has been well thought of. In terms of our own operation, we're going to be working with closely with MDOT and with the other municipalities in the service area, which again, Benton Township, Royalton, St. Joe, et cetera, et cetera. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to inform you of that initiative and then see if there's any questions and we'll address them. But that's kind of where we're headed. So we'll be having dialogue with these other communities, including New Buffalo, about potential participation in a new Public Act 196 authority. Just from a timeline point of view, it's going to be about 3 years out. So we just want to try to start planning now so that everyone is aware of what's coming down the pipe and be able to take whatever comments into consideration. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Henderson.
That's what, so right now, you're right. So if you look at the fare structure, the non-Benton Harbor residents pay more, right? But more revenue is needed. So from these other municipalities, they would have the option of their own millage election, or they could just cut a check out of their general fund, their general operating fund. That's kind of up to them, how they want to support transit in the area. But we definitely need them financially as a contributor.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Clark Griffin.
I know in the years I've been fighting for dollar ride for years. They've been trying to outsource it and then let the other ones join. To me, what's different, and I know Ben Harbor pays the highest taxes, and if these other ones join, is that going to lower the taxes that the Ben Harbor pay of the dollar ride?
Don't know if it's going to lower that, but it's going to help to improve the service to these other communities, and the Benton Harbor residents will benefit from that as well, because there'll be more dollars to hire drivers, more dollars to maintain the buses.
And you guys recently raised up the fare. So is you gonna lower it back down? Because you said it'll be reduced.
No, we're not going to lower it back down. But so just to be clear about the fare increase, it was the first fare increase in 20 years, and it was necessary because of operating costs. I don't know that the fares will be lowered, but I would like to think that they will remain stable and not go up anymore.
You working on the maintenance of the buses? Because I know the air and it's been
Yes,
breaking down.
Yes. So that's one of the issues that we've concluded. This summer, we want the air conditioning to be working on all the buses at all the times. And so the result of that is we've had to contract out, and we've been sending the buses to the garage to be repaired so that we send them to a third party. So yes, we're very concerned about air conditioning in buses, and yes, we're addressing it, and yes, that's a part of why we had to raise the fare. Yes.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Kennard.
One of the things, sir, you are the director?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I was a part of the dial ride for quite a few years. So there was a lot of pockets of concern about what was going on and what was planned for dial ride. And I don't know how the depth that you have researched into the past of dial ride. And I hope that you do your research, and I'd like for us to have the chance to at least bring our concerns to you.
Certainly, you can bring concerns to me or Commissioner Singleton.
But I'd like to have them considered. So many times when you bring your concerns, they're not heard at all. So we want to take a new direction here in Benton Harbor that the residents are taking a part in the things that is happening in the city because you all are the voters. And if you stand up when you see something happen in these different arms of the government, stand up because the people that voted for you are supposed to be listening to you.
Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. I got 3 quick questions. Number one, it's my understanding that you are very top heavy. And as far as your management team, how many people actually in the management of Dollar Ride even work in Benton Harbor or live in Benton Harbor? Is there some outside entities that's still under contract that are getting paid outside? Let me finish and then I'll give it to
Okay.
you. The point number 2 is that I know the insurance has been something because of accidents and a whole lot of other things that have happened. And it's kind of hard to kind of get some insurance with drivers and all that. But I heard you say something that was kind of, when I questioned it, you said you're going to a third party, but then are you paying a mechanic? So you're paying a mechanic, but you have to ship your problems to a third party. So that's like outsourcing. So why do you have a mechanic and have to go to a third party to get your repairs done? It's like, that's like a catch-22, I would say. But those are my only 3 questions. Thank you, Honorable Mayor, for this time.
So let me answer the third one first. I think that was observant and a good point. We need to have the air conditioning fixed, and you can't keep telling somebody to fix it and they not fix it, and thinking that just because you told them to fix it, it's going to be fixed. And so we're at a point now where we have to have the air conditioning fixed. So I understand your point, and we are reviewing all of our personnel. I guess that'll get us back to your first point, right, is why do we have that position and we're shipping out air conditioning units to be fixed? And we're reviewing that. Part of my charge is to right the ship, and one of the challenges that we have is that we have an accounting department that has been contracted out at a major fee every month, okay? And so it's like things like that. We have legal that's contracted out. And so, yeah, we have some challenges because there are some units that aren't over at 275 Wall Street, and that is creating some additional expenses as well. And so all of these issues have created the necessity to rethink how the authority operates going forward. And so that's why we're taking these steps.
The chair recognizes Commissioner Singleton, who serves as the chair of the Dollar Ride Board and the liaison for the City Commission to the Dollar Ride.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Mr. Director, could you tell us the approximate operating budget? You know, how much is it costing a year to operate Dollar Ride? And then I got a couple of more questions.
0.6 to 2.9 million, somewhere in there.
And out of that funding is, how is that broke down?
So it's 80% coming from the Federal Transit Administration, 20% from MDOT, and then there's that fraction that is from the local millage that I said is about 300,000+ a year.
Okay, so, and the insurance cost, what was it before and what is it now?
So before, it was about 75, and now it's about 300 and something and counting.
And those are, a lot of it is because of conditions that happened that, when you came aboard, you kind of inherited some of the stuff that's draining the operation right now. Huh?
Yes, that's the case.
So there's no secret about, the condition, and the challenges of the organization. It is again, it's not the same dollar ride that began in, I think, the late 70s, early 80s or something. Even what is it, the regional, what they call it, the regional map has changed. Can you kind of speak to that? It's just not, when you're getting the money from the federal government, which is 80% of your budget, they kind of tell you, with their money come their mouth, and they kind of tell you what they need you to do to continue to get that money. Could you talk about the regional change?
Yes, so he's referring to the change in the urbanized service area, which is a result of the 2020 census, which has extended our service area, the dollarized service area, all the way down to New Buffalo. So it's that spine along I-94, which would include Bridgman, and then even Union Pier and New Buffalo. The other areas to the east would be Niles, Dial-A-Ride, or Berrien Bus. But for us, our service area is all the way down to the state line in New Buffalo. And right now, we're not able to serve that. The feds know that we're not able to, and they know why we're not able to. But we don't have the staff, the equipment. There's a number of reasons why we can't do it right now.
Okay, so if there's no, say, commitment or able to garner other partners, will it, I'm sure everybody know the answer to that, but the $300 and some thousand that, the millage raise wouldn't be nearly enough to support the operation, right?
Correct. We need these other municipalities to financially contribute in a structured way, in a contractual way, so that we can count on that income as revenue for the authority.
And last one, Mayor, I know when you came aboard, even when I came on board, there were several findings that the federal government, FTA, which kind of regulate that, found that was deficiencies, and seemed like year after year it had got worse. But to this date, with your staff, how is that working now?
We're down to about 3, actually, and a couple of them won't be closed until we do a transaction for the stairs. Right, that's DB. We have to show that we have considered minority contractors. So I don't know if you've seen it, but we do have a RFP on the street to replace the stairs on the north side of the building. And that's one of the findings that we had, is that we didn't have a sufficient number of minority bidders. And so that's one. But the rest of them we pretty much addressed. The only others are preventive maintenance, and we can't address them because we just kind of have to go like 6 months and stay with the program and show that we're compliant for 6 months, and then that'll be considered addressing that. And so we'll be free, which will be from 27 down to, we're at, I believe, 3 right now that are open.
And last thing, one of the biggest drains on the operating budget right now is, what, in your opinion, what is that? Biggest drains or potential?
Yeah, so some of the biggest drains we talked about on the operating side, The accounting is a big drain. We're knocking down, $13,000-14,000 a month in accounting costs, just outside accounting. So that's huge. We've got some legal issues, paying for those. So that's huge. Other than that, I think we're in pretty good shape aside from the operating expenses.
Thank you.
Just as a note, this was just supposed to be just an update, really not a full-fledged hearing. I don't know that he was prepared for that, but I am going to recognize Commissioner Henry, who has not spoken, and then Commissioner Clyde Griffin.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Shern, when you have expenses more than revenue, you try to find way to solve that problem. So at one time, we talked about Benton Harbor being the mother and Dollar Ride having being a limb of the body. Would you consider talking to the city manager and seeing if we can share any of our expenses and your expenses and pool them together? We might be able to save some money. We talked about that some years ago in Dollar Ride, and and I see it working in other municipalities. They actually share their insurance, or they share their gasoline, or whatever it is that your entity needs. Then I would suggest to please talk to the city and see if we can all ride in the same boat. And I'm really glad to hear that we're trying to find minority person to do the work that you need on the building and anything else. That's really important with Benton Harbor being 94% black. So you talked about the authority, and that's come up quite a bit in the last 10 years. I've seen them come with tenacity and said, this is what you need, and we didn't fall for it. We said, no, we're not going for that one. We're going to go in another direction. But now I kind of hear that authority again, and I would not like to see Takata's board being have any kind of dimension. I want them to stay in control of what's going on with Dollar Ride. I don't want to see where the airport is now. We own 60-some% of it, but we only have a minority vote. I would like to make sure that Dollar Ride has a strong board and looks out for the residents. So when you do that authority, that, like I said, it's been thrown out there before, and they don't seem to ever go away. We tell them no, and they come back in another way, and we tell them no again, and they find another way to come back with the same proposal. So I'll be definitely watching that, and I hope that we will keep our authority with our board. Thank you.
So I appreciate those comments. I'm appreciative to the city for the collaboration that we've had with them up to this point in terms of working jointly to address some of the problems and challenges relative to the governance of a new authority. The Public Act 196 provides a lot of flexibility in that regard. As you know, this process is going to take maybe 2 or 3 years, which will be longer than my tenure in this position. And so it's going to be up to all of you that are concerned to make sure that the city of Benton Harbor has a representation going forward that you think that it should have.
Commissioner Clark Griffin.
Well, as I stated earlier, I've been following the dollar ride with this takeover and outsourcing for years and speaking up against it. And you said that joining with the other ones would help us. But a lot of them was failing. That's why they wanted to join with us. They weren't doing good, especially Berry and Bus and Niles. So are they doing better financially? Because how can they help us?
No, so we wouldn't be joining with Berry and Bus or Niles. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get a contribution from Benton Township, from City of St. Joe, from the folks around our area. But no, we're not proposing at this point to join with them. And truth be told, at least Niles, they don't want to join with anyone. They want to do their own thing. So they're not trying to join with anything. So we're no. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Thank you.
So thank you, Dr. Shern. I would just share publicly that I believe we've had 6 or 7 directors in the last 5 years, interim director thrown in. A lot of Dollar Ride's problems are self-inflicted wounds, accidents, lawsuits. I mean, I could call the roll. And it's gotten to the point where the federal government is saying that they're not going to continue to fund Dollar Ride unless there's some serious changes. And not just the federal government, but the Michigan Department of Transportation as well. I've been in meetings where in fact we had to get on a call because they froze the funding. And they were releasing it piecemeal because of all of the issues. And then when we had the issue where we were not able to be insured, that would have shut it down immediately because you cannot drive a vehicle without no insurance. And that held up all our funding. But Dr. Shern and his team was able to find someone who would insure us so people can continue to get transportation, people can continue to work, because Dollar Ride feeds a lot of homes and families in our community. So it is a great asset, but what I think we have to wrap our minds around, Dollar Ride from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, that cannot be sustained. So we have to, as you stated, as a community, find what is going to work for Dollar Ride or Takata in the 20th century, 2025 and beyond. Because without money, you cannot operate. And that's just a fact. So thank you for the update. We look forward to having you back. And maybe we can have a community-wide conversation, because we need input from the community on how we can save Dollar Ride, number one, because it's in peril. And then 2, how we're going to make it better. Because we fought to save the high school. But like the governor told me, the unity that I saw, all of the people in the community coming together to save the high school, had that same zeal and that same fight and that same collective unity to make it better. And my question is, have we done that? And that's for nobody to answer. But let's have that same fight coming together to make something better, not just say what we don't like. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
This brings us to another update from Representative Joey Andrews. Is he present? Thank you. We'll move forward to citizens' comments or public participation. There is a 3-minute maximum per speaker. Please sign in with the city clerk, and she will call you accordingly. I yield to the city clerk.
Donnie Meeks.
Danny Meeks. My address is 300 Territorial, Ben Harbor. Oh, I didn't know what that stand up sit down.
Yeah, the media is YouTube stream, so it's people watching probably.
Stand up, sit down.
Please sit.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'd like to say my name is Danny Meeks. I'm a past commissioner, county commissioner. I'm a 40-year self-employed Ben Harbor contractor. And I want to kind of talk about the Arts District. Many years ago, probably some of you commissioners probably don't know how the art district got started. Well, I made an investment about maybe 30 years ago when they was selling the property for $1. I made a $180,000 investment in Ben Harbor. I did. That's for the citizens, everybody in Ben Harbor. Now, Arts District is very diverse. It's not white, it's not black, it's for everybody. But now it seems to come down that the Arts District's not for everybody, from what I'm understanding what's going on. So I'm not really happy about my investment of what I did for all the citizens, the people of Ben Harbor, and what's going on. And like I said, I just want to I'd come up with some other ideas and different things. One of the ideas is the restaurant on the beach. That was a feasibility study that I paid for. That, and no cost to the city. That was $15,000. But give Ben Harbor an idea of what they do with their city. You had something that I come up that nobody in the country would have ever had. So I'm just saying my love and my commitment to the city is what I've done. I'm not saying I'm a millionaire or nothing like that, but I say I got kids here. I got relatives here, and I got friends here. Now, Ben Harbor. Now, one other thing we got here, we got a corporate 500 whirlpools here. So now, how many communities got that? Not too many. So the thing is, I don't like seeing what I'm seeing. I kind of think that we're shutting people out of the area because we got a district started. But no, it wasn't started. Now, Richard Hunt was a friend of mine. And Richard came here, I like to think that I had something to do with Richard getting here. We bought property here and we sold it. And Richard Hunt right over, now my son's got a building right next door. And then they said, we don't want you. We don't want that kind of bit. There's a way that everybody can get to there now. I say, why don't we put a fence up? Well, we don't want no fence. Well, you got fences in other areas down there, and at the point that where people are hiding their stuff. Now, just take a look around. So I don't know how long I got to talk, but I just want to come in and say, oh, okay, that's it. Thank you.
Glenda Wisnat.
First question I'd like to ask, hello to everybody, is the city of Ben Harbor planning to sell our water plant? I mean, do I get answers here? I meet with you later?
So during the public comment is for public comment only, so it's not for a back and forth with the city council.
Okay. My comment is that we should not sell the water plant if we're proposing to do that. I've heard rumors that we are. Not sure if that's true, but I don't know how to get the answers. Also asked about permits before. Now, I was told that during the lead project, I know we had a lot of houses that received plumbing and other things. I was told that the state was responsible for the plumbing permits. I spoke with the state. They said that's not true. They said all plumbing permits come to the city of Ben Harbor. And I asked that question before because with the lead project, there's no way we shouldn't have over $1 million in our building permits for the permits that were pulled. I'd just like to know where the money is, who's making the money, who's doing inspections, because I am a citizen of Ben Harbor. I do pay taxes. I get fined for grass not being cut that has been cut because I have a contract that cut my grass. That's on my taxes. So I have issues that I like to have addressed. And this comment here, it's just a comment. I see that we're paying Evermarsh $251,895.19 for consulting for Hall Park restoration. Now, are they doing consulting? Are these jobs, hopefully these jobs are being bidded on? Because I can't see them getting a consulting fee and also getting a job. Because that would be a conflict of interest to me. Because I'm sure we have a lot of people in this area who are qualified to do these jobs. Like one of the commissioners said earlier, I mean, we're 85% Afro-American and we deserve the jobs. We're paying 1% city taxes. The corporations, 0.5, are not paying. Last meeting I was there, you all said they're not paying. So if they would pay, would we not have money in our budget? We won't have to go and take the $800,000 out of the budget when we already have a budget that has been planned from last year. So I guess my time is about up, but I would like to have answers, and if somebody can tell me after where I can get these answers from, do I need to file a FOIA? Do I go to the State Attorney General? I'm not sure, because I want answers. Thank you.
Brandon Meeks.
My name is Brandon Meeks. I'm here in representation of 300 Territorial. I've been, I leased that property last year in hopes of opening up a body shop. It wasn't until I was brought with my first inspection from the inspectors, and they told me that they gave me a list of things that I needed to open up the body shop. At that time, I decided that I couldn't afford that, but I'm stuck in a lease, so I'm going to use the building as a hobby shop. I'd had business cards made. I thought I was about to do business. But we met with that opportunity. I said, well, I can't really afford that. I'm just going to use the building. I'm going to pay the lease. I'm going to teach my children the things that my parents taught me. I started getting letters of cease and desist of operating a business that wasn't a business. They put a name on the business of Big Wheel Auto. That business does not exist. I've never heard of it. I've never operated. You cannot find no one to say Big Wheel Auto has done anything for them. I've never heard of the business. So I come to speak with the city manager. I can't really get in touch with him. We have a meeting set for Wednesday, but it wasn't until I adamantly kept coming back, that we get this meeting set for. I received a ticket for being a nuisance, for operating a business that doesn't exist. And I just want to explain myself and say that this business didn't exist. My trailer was taken from sitting on asphalt because they said it wasn't an existing parking lot. That nothing be parked there. You can't park there. So, just looking zoning, looking up laws, doing my research. It's an existing parking lot. And I asked them to come show me that this isn't asphalt that my trailer was on. No one will come over there and show me because the asphalt's 4 inches thick. I'm here. I want answers. I want to get to the bottom of what I have to do to be in compliance. And can we all get in compliance? Because I'm willing to do anything that I have to do to get in compliance. But us as a city must get in compliance as well. Like all of those around me, all the people that are doing whatever type of business or whatever, let us all, because I want a better city. I want to better us. I want to better. So whatever we must do, let's do it. But I need to know who I need to talk to in order to get answers on what I need to do for us to figure out what we need to do. Thank you.
Robert Walker.
I'm still standing, y'all. I'm still standing. Well, I'm gonna start right here.
It's a lot of stuff that goes on in the city this is some bull. Y'all let Cornerstone Alliance and Whirlpool come in here and do anything they want to do. But when our people try to do something, y'all have a problem with it. I don't care if they start off wrong. When they come to you for answers to try to get their business straight, y'all don't give them no answer. Y'all don't take no meetings. Y'all don't do this. Y'all don't do that. So my point to my people is this. From this day on, right here, if you're not going to do that seat, you can look next to the person next to you. They're not going to be that much longer. We control those seats. If you don't want to do what you're supposed to do, you're going to get out that seat. Someone else will have your seat as soon as that next election come up. Because we're getting tired of not getting the answers. We start getting tired of not getting the help. Now, some of the stuff I agree with. I do. A lot of the stuff I do not agree with. I do not agree with the threats that's being made or what you're going to do this or you're going to know. We control the seats. If we want something in this city and you guys don't want, y'all keep going the same way with it. I mean, it's ordinances that's on y'all book from the 50s that's stopping me from doing things that I want to do right now. I wasn't even born in the 50s, and I'm 55. So we talked about it a long time ago. We have to do something different because what has happened is when we grew up, people my age, we had a lot of places to go. Now we don't have nowhere to go. Now what happens to that is you got them, everybody remember bar school dances, everybody remember all, when you take stuff like that out of the community, those are the units that we as parents use to put our children in situations to learn social judgments, to be able to grow socially with different kinds of people. Because since we don't have that anymore, what happens is now when they get out there, they ain't used to being around groups and groups of people. So guess what they do? They fight and buck each other every day, all day. We had bar school, we had rec school dances, and we was always around each other. So we didn't want to kill each other. We might fight here and there, but we didn't want to kill each other because we knew each other. We all talked. We all had a hand in something. Now, there's absolutely nothing for them to go. Social skills is crap because they have nowhere to go socially to learn them skills. So we got to start somewhere. Something got to come up. Like Ms. Henderson was telling me about the pool that the city paid for that still ain't fixed. But who's on top of that? Who's on top of that? $100,000 just sitting there. Who's on top of that? Our children could be learning that. And one thing black people need to do is learn how to swim. We need to learn how to swim. I'm a great swimmer. I'm just telling y'all, if people don't go the right way, the seat's gonna change.
Robert Whaley.
How y'all doing? So, I came to talk about the nuisance parties ordinance, but I see that you guys had revised and removed it. So I won't waste y'all time on that until Wednesday. When it comes up, I'll be back. But I want to, I was wondering, I was hoping that Deputy Clerk could be here because that planner that he was talking about was me. And he lied. You know, I didn't say nothing about him being racist when he came to the door. You know, I was very respectful. I'm respectful all the time. He came to the door and he said, we're shutting this down. And I said, why? And he said, because it's a nuisance. And I didn't know what a nuisance was. I'm looking at him like, what's a nuisance? I said, it sounds racist to me. That's what I said. And so he went on, we're shutting it down. So we stopped. There was literally 50 people in there. There wasn't a nuisance in that parking lot at all. The nuisance was around that area, down the street, to be exact. That security company that he lied about, that don't have license and stuff, they do. Twin Protective Service out of Detroit, McGinnis, just in case you guys want to know who they is. AJ's didn't hire them. They licensed in the whole Michigan. That I don't know, but I'll give you the name and stuff, yeah. And then, what else I was just saying? I just forgot to talk to you. They was licensed. They're very. I love those guys. They do a good job. I done through a lot of events. Never had no real things happen at that event. But he flat out told some stories that I didn't like when I watched the live feed at the meeting the other day. So that just concerned me. Like, why would we let him choose what's a nuisance parties when he lie about that? Everything will be a nuisance party. We need an outlet. We gotta have something to do. So we gotta come up with something together. And I'm not saying the ordinance was really bad. It ain't really bad, but it just needs to be revised. And I don't think that everything is a nuisance. We got to be able to do something around here. And that's it.
Shanique Davis. Shaniqua Davis.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shaniqua Davis, a young member of the community. I spoke with Marcus and Miss Sharon before the meet, and I asked them why was the ordinance taken off the agenda today. They said because it didn't go through the right protocol. If it didn't go through the right protocol, why was it ever posted? It should have never been posted if it didn't go through the protocol. So by it being posted, it got the city at an uproar. Now everybody here, now we hear it's canceled, and I'm not with that. Robert said he wasn't gonna speak about it, but I'm gonna speak about it. Not everybody, I wanna know how many of y'all have been to one of those nuisance parties. Marcus might have been, I might have seen him a few years ago. But anybody ever been to a nuisance party in the city? No, because I never seen, I mean, of course, you're gonna be there, but no. Try out and come out, engage with them, instead of judging them off the younger crowds. The younger crowds are 18 through 25. 25 and up don't have these nuisance parties. We have fun. Ben Harbor is a big, little community that's a family. When we come together, it's be a family, not they shooting here, we gotta worry about them fight. No, that's what they see the city as, because that's what y'all put it out there as. No, we don't. None of that shouldn't have been said about Ben Harbor. I didn't see nobody out there. I'm always out. And I'm gonna tell you that right now, I'm out. I be at all the parties, all the nuisance parties, all the block parties, I be there. And it's family, everybody is family. And I'm gonna give an example, graduation night. Y'all put all y'all attention on AJ's. But guess what happened at the graduation party for the younger folks? A little dude got shot. But guess what? There wasn't nobody over there because we had 50 police messing with these younger crowds that ain't fighting, that ain't doing nothing, but having a good time. When the police should have been over there at that block party full of minors with liquor, we got 50-year-olds that y'all worried about drinking, but we got a 16, 17-year-old with a pint in his hand and ready to crack somebody's head. So of course it's going to be bad. But y'all can't put an image on who fighting for Ben Harbor, who stand for our city. Nobody. This is what y'all supposed to do. Stand for us. I don't feel like nobody is standing up for the city. Nobody. We got the police going against us. We got the board going against us. So somebody have to step up. And nobody's stepping up. Somebody need to tell the police when they wrong. Tell them something. Somebody need to say something. They not always right in every situation. In that situation, they're wrong. We all over the news. Yeah, that's it. But I will be back Wednesday.
Thank you.
Marcus Johnson. Can't read the last name.
Good afternoon, everybody. What's going on? Marcus Muhammad. Yeah, I'm back. Hey, you know what Pac said? You know what I mean? Don't go to war till you get your money right. You know what I mean? So I'm back. You feel me? I'm in Ben Harbor. You know me? I'm a resident of Ben Harbor now. You know? I appreciate all y'all, man, for speaking, because now I'm finna speak for the white people can understand. I appreciate y'all. All right. Good afternoon, Ben Harbor Administration. My name is Marcus DePress Johnson, author of 80s Babies, A Journey Through the School to Prison Pipeline, and I'm a community developer and a proud resident of Ben Harbor, Michigan. Today I stand before you to address some pressing concerns about the direction of our city is heading. It has become increasingly clear that our beloved Ben Harbor has been led by individuals lacking not just the necessary competence, but also a vision that truly embrace the need of the underprivileged and poverty-stricken community. There's a profound disconnect between the administration's decisions and the reality that many residents face daily. Let me pose a question. Who decided to embark on the street work across nearly all areas of our town while utilizing small crews that achieve minimum results? We desperately need a more strategic approach instead of spreading resources thin across the city. Let's maximize our efforts by forcing on one area at a time that will not only be cost effective, but will also allow us to see tangible process sooner. The lack of a thriving economy and the absence of recreational activity for our youth are creating a volatile situation. If we do not provide constructive outlets for our community, we will only breed frustration and hopelessness. As history often repeats itself, we risk turning many of our young men and women into the very statistics we claim to want to change. Remember, each of you once navigated your own youth, facing your own challenges. But what if there had been no path forward? What alternatives can we foster today? Let's unite our efforts to build a Ben Harbor where everyone has a stake in the future. A city where our streets are safe, our youth have opportunities, and our community thrives. We need to work together, listen to one another, and create solutions that reflect the diverse voice of our city. Thank you for your attention. I look forward to engaging in constructive dialogue and working together for a better Ben Harbor. My phone number is 269-248-2599. Contact me. It's about time for you to get back with me, Mark.
I appreciate your preparation, sir.
Natasha Bowman.
Good day, everybody. How y'all doing? I didn't receive the information about the ordinance being moved until Wednesday until today, but I did just want to come in and say I don't really have a complete understanding of the ordinance, but as a homeowner, I did see that they said that on your private property that you wouldn't be able to do, you know, kind of like what you wanted to do. That's my reason for being a homeowner. I want to be able to do what I want to do at home, kick it how I want to kick it, party how I want to party. I do have a party. This year is my third year having a party that I do have on the corner of Britton and McAllister. My years have been clean. We have a good time. I keep your road open. I'm nice to the officers. I make sure that I don't read the ordinances. I don't. But I'm nice to my neighbors. I'm a nice person in the community. I want to be involved as far as like having a good time. We went to Tasha's. We had a good time. That was a nice weekend. Let's do it again. You know, I want that to be something that I can do at home in my city and it not be like, oh, we might get in trouble. The police are going to come and it's going to be a big deal. I'm going to be charged something outside of the taxes that I already pay, you know, to the city on time. My water bill, I've been trying to keep my water bill paid, y'all. Y'all dogging me down with that water, but I'm keeping that water bill paid so that when it's my time to do something, y'all can't say, well, this is a person in the community that doesn't try to work with us. I'm here to work with y'all. Y'all let me know what I can do because we gonna have that party, okay? So y'all let me know, and I pray that we can all come together and have a good time.
Vet Taylor.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I came with the same thing. I didn't know that the nuisance thing had been taken off the thing, but I just wanted to chime in. There's nothing for the youth to do. So with budget cuts and everything, like Robert was saying, we here at the rec center, we go swim, we at bar school, we go to the dance, we had disco, we had a lot of different things to do. There's nothing for the youth to do. So this ordinance that y'all are trying to impose, it affects me because when I do want to go, I do want to be able to have fun and not be worried about a problem. This is my third year having friends and family day, and I don't have any problems. There's no type of anything. I usually get the street blocked off, and I was kind of skeptical about with this nuisance thing. I don't want to, but I'm all over the place. We just need something for the youth to do in Benton Harbor. I love Benton Harbor. I've been here for 53 years. I just love it, and I just want it to be better, a better place, a better community. And that's basically it. I'll see y'all Wednesday.
Derek Bishop.
Good evening. Excuse me. My name is Derek Bishop. I'm here on behalf of my nonprofit organization, Faction Urban Outreach. Faction means faith and action. And my primary purpose here in town and in this community means, what's up, Mr. Isom? How you doing, sir? Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Muhammad. Excuse me. I'm here on behalf of our youth, and me spending a lot of time at this community gardens for the children and young adults. I wasn't there today, but I know yesterday and the day before the water was still off, and me and my sons and my nephews, we was trafficking and hauling in bottled waters to the park. I even posted videos live on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I find it real hard to understand and believe why some of our commissioners and some of our board members from the school got to come out and bring the water in, but the water still ain't been cut on. Even if it's an issue about money, I put my foot down to help with community fundraising. And also, even with this ordinance, I believe it got to be accountability on both sides. Like it's a lot of blaming and finger pointing towards the community and the people that's throwing the parties. However, nobody's speaking on the fact that on the news it was spoken about a high-speed chase and the officer involved shooting, but nobody told the fact that the two people that was in the car wasn't in the high-speed chase. They was actually victims. Nobody went to jail that night, and they wasn't fleeing. Like my little man's was one of the guys who jumped on the car, and my other man's was the one who was driving the car. And inside that car, the police never made it public either that it was a pregnant woman inside the car either when they was shooting at the car. So if we're going to talk about accountability, I feel like everything needs to be laid bare on the table. And I feel like that's real valuable, too, because with my history of once being an at-risk and the troubled youth actually helped make society a worse place, I came home and had a couple conversations with people, Mr. Muhammad primarily, about being a solution to some of the problems. And I still stand in that position. And it's disheartening and real disgusting to me that some of these people sitting in this room, sitting on that side of the table, is actually being more of a hindrance to our children's growth and advancement than Benton Harbor instead of actually being part of the solution. And I don't care about nobody being in their feelings or feeling offended or anything like that. Like, I don't fear nobody but Allah. Like, if it's me and the bear in the dark alley, y'all better help the bear. And that's the same energy I put into my children and the youth that I run into. So only thing I ask is, if it's going to be any type of healing going on, let the healing be holistic and not just athletics and finances, because we got a lot of beautiful athletes in town, but they foundation a little shaky because they lacking in the mental, spiritual, and moral character area in life as well. All the money y'all put into all these different projects, roads, and dispensaries could have been put into our children. Also, after this meeting, y'all come meet us down in the Dr. Times office. We're having a community get together. We're down to strategizing about Wednesday and everything goes to it. Y'all understand?
Eddie.
Yes, my name is Eddie Said. I live in Benton Harbor. My question is to the city manager and the commissioners. Why is it that you all have hired someone that runs a department that you have to call Lansing to get a form that this person has in their office and they do not offer the form to you? That's one of my questions. That's all I have to ask.
Mr. Duncan. Mr. Duncan.
If you guys are not about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, maybe I should sit down because I'm a nuisance. Because that's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for all of us to have a fair chance, a road to do the things we need to do. We have nothing on the agenda but things for other people. And you guys smile and laugh and talk amongst each other. You either that or you got problems with each other. And I don't have a problem with anybody up there, but I know that you guys could do more for the citizens. That's where life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness come from. You guys doing and putting us on the agenda, not putting us on the agenda and erasing us off the agenda. I don't know where that come from, but I know what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. That's what our parents taught us. Well, at least mine did. You want somebody to vote for you again? I suggest, and I can only suggest because I can't tell none of y'all what to do. Because all y'all, some of y'all are not grown. And I could point at each one of you when I feel like that you're not. And I can say that because I'm over 70 years old. And I can see right through all of y'all. Help the citizens. Show us that you're helping us. Or, like the lady said, you'll see me Wednesday again with something to say just like this. And while I got a minute, let me thank the citizens for coming out. I haven't seen most of you guys, but it sure would be good to see you all the time. That way we can keep our eyes on the prize. Make the prize our prize too. We run all over the state talking to different people, but it's not about us. I got 21 more seconds. Please listen to the people because the people need some help. I do. We do. You're going to keep denying us life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? I don't need an answer. You guys will show me. Thank you.
No more comments.
This brings us to the consent calendar. Are there any items that should be separated? Chair recognizes Commissioner Clark Griffin.
Want to separate 1, 2, and 6.
Is there a motion for the approval? Commissioner Henry? Is there a motion for the approval of the consent calendar?
So move.
Motion is made by Commissioner Henderson, supported by Commissioner Singleton. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Henry? Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard? Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren? Mayor Pro Tem Seats? Commissioner Clark Griffin?
No.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to the first separated item, a resolution to adopt the City of Ben Harbor zoning ordinance and zoning map. Is there a motion for the approval?
Make a motion to.
Motion is made by Mayor Pro Tem Seat, supported by Commissioner Henderson. Is there discussion? Chair recognizes Commissioner Clark Griffin.
I'm not in agreement with most of the stuff on the zoning ordinance. As I stated before, I'm not even in agreement with most of the master plan. And I'll say it like I said it before, the 210-page master plan is Project 2025 to me. Thank you.
Call for the question.
Support.
Oh, Chair recognizes Commissioner Henry.
I just want everyone to know that we've been working on the master plan now for some time, and we've been trying to put the ordinances with the master plan. And whatever happens with our vote today, we still have time for citizens to be involved in it, to see exactly what the draft says, and have some comment. I believe it's 60 days. So it's very important that you understand the master plan and you understand the ordinance and you speak out on it. So we should be having more informational sessions for these two entities, the master plan and the zoning. That's all I have to say. It's that it's all about us, and this master plan is not like the last master's plan. This really has some lookout for the Benton Harbor residents. It really does, and I want everyone to understand and be involved in the completion of it. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Seats. You're recognized.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. This does replace what was in place in 2012. There was a young man who came back to Benton Harbor from Atlanta who wanted to build a house, but he could not build a two-story home because of the ordinance did not allow for him to build a two-story. So he had to build a one-story home, and it was blocked because of the ordinance. So these ordinances do come to help with schools, park, public facilities, ensuring that if somebody does come and want to purchase the property, it's mixed use and not just single use. So it does help when somebody's coming to invest or even buy lots. It gives us a lot of other options to build or to, because if I'm coming to Benton Harbor and I'm buying a lot and somebody tells me I can only do a single story house, that kind of limits your options. So I do appreciate the update. I mean, it's only 13 years that something should be updated after 13 years of this being the zoning ordinance. And some of the zoning ordinance came under the emergency manager, which was not beneficial to the city residents. A lot of things that happened when the emergency manager was here was not beneficial to the people who live here. And so some of these things, we got to right the wrongs. Can't do it all in overnight, but I don't know how you can deny that some of these things, if you look at the old ordinances, they don't need to be changed. Some of them need to drastically change. And this is a step in the right direction, I feel. So thank you, Honorable Mayor, for this time.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Kennard.
Thank you, Mayor. One of the things that I see that so much comes before us that sometimes we can't even absorb or even study the ordinance that is coming about a lot of things that come before us. And I think that we have 2 Mondays out of a month. We need to increase one of those Mondays is things that are going to coming up before us for us to get together and talk about it and discuss it so we have a better information as to how to vote on these different matters. And one of the things, too, that I see is that we got to be more in tune with our community to know what is going on in their concerns. And you don't have a point where they can even ask questions to get an answer at the meeting. Well, it needs to be available to them when they call and ask for information. They are not getting that. So these are some of the things that I'm saying. We need to be better informed of what we're going to be voting on. And I understand the pressure that it's putting on our community, that things that are going on, and they're not getting answers.
Thank you. I'd like to just thank our Planning Commission President Lee Reed, Vice President Richard Hensel, who, I mean, did all within their power to invite residents, to engage residents. I mean, all but have a circus to try to get people to come out and participate. And the good thing was if it was two or if it was a few, you all still worked as if it was 200 to 300 in the room. The August 23rd, 2012 master plan, I voted against it because I thought it was against the public good and the economic development of the inner city and the community. And it passed 5-4. When Mayor Cook, he told me that the master plan had not been updated since the 90s. And he said it's better to have something than nothing. And before I became the mayor, I didn't understand that. But now that I am the mayor, I can say if Mayor Cook was here today, that I understand him better with that statement. So this is not a perfect ordinance. Somebody will come down the line, or even it can be amended, or as Commissioner Henry said, maybe some input within this period of input can help improve it. But what we have today and what we're voting on, I can support because it is better than what was put in place in 2012. I call for the question.
Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard? Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
No.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry? Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to the second separated item, a resolution to amend downtown social district redevelopment liquor license policy. Is there a motion for the approval?
Motion for approval.
Motion is made by Commissioner Singleton. Commissioner Isom, pardon me.
Support.
And it's supported by, I was trying to get us a second down there, Commissioner Singleton. Is there discussion? Chair recognizes Commissioner Clark Griffin.
I really don't see the reason that we would change this, and the reason that it was given to me is don't support, and it doesn't meet my expectations for sure, so I don't trust it.
I know that the assistant, the city clerk, you had sent out an explanation. Do you mind sharing that information?
So the change in this particular policy is just the name. The name is changing, nothing else. And it's just to meet the state standards. When it was put together, the city had their intent for the redevelopment. So we named it redevelopment. Then come to find out, when you apply to the state, there are two different types of licenses. There is a redevelopment license and there is a downtown district license or development district license. The category that we had passed in this original policy fell in the development district category, not the redevelopment district category. So the policy still has the intent of what the commission passed originally. It just needs a name change so that it falls within the state guidelines. There is some confusion with businesses that want to apply now because they don't know which one to apply for. And we want to make it very clear on what the city is asking the businesses to apply for. So nothing in that policy is changing that you have already approved except for the name itself.
I call for the question.
Commissioner Kennard? No. Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
No.
Commissioner Henderson? Yes. Commissioner Henry? Yes. Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.
For clarity, Madam Clerk, 3 was in the consent, correct? No discussion on 3, okay. Is there a motion for the approval of the separated item number 4?
Make motion to approve.
Motion is made by Mayor Pro Tem, number 5, pardon me. Resolution approving purchase of properties from the Barron County tax sale.
Make motion to approve.
Motion is made by Mayor Pro Tem Seats and is supported by Commissioner Warren. Is there discussion? Chair recognizes Commissioner Henry.
Mayor, this did get discussed in Wednesday night committee meeting, and there were quite a few questions. And I'm looking to see if any of the questions have been answered in the paperwork. I don't see it. So the question is, we're buying land from Barron County tax sale. It's 9 units. The staff has determined that these properties, most of them will be utilized by the city. So I'll go back to the question that wasn't answered is $12,468.45. Where exactly is that money coming from?
Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. During the Planning and Economic Development Committee meeting, we discussed this to full length, and also it's just the opportunity to purchase property. There are properties that are out there that it will behoove us to acquire. We're not saying we want a laundry list of properties, but there are properties that are beneficial for the city to grab. One of the biggest problems that we have now is that we have so many properties, and we're running into a problem with cutting the grass on some of these properties and all these other things. And then when certain fees go to the county, they tack on some money, they tack on percentages. And I just feel it's best that if we are, as one of our former city managers said, God is not making no more property. So the most we can get our hands on, I think the better off it is, and it's not controlled by any other entity, but it'll be the city-owned property. And I think through correct wisdom, another one of our biggest problems is we got too many nonprofits who are operating for profits in nonprofits, and we're not getting tax dollars from them, but they're trying to control the narrative that they are. You cannot run a city off residential taxes. So there has to be some kind of tax that comes in to the city of Benton Harbor. So I support it just from the view of that any acquisition with preview and with potential can turn over to something greater for the city of Ben Harbor than us, because right now we're going to have to pay back, or that's another thing that nobody talks about, that when these properties go to the foreclosure sale, they can get whatever they want to for it. They can go all the way down to $1 if they want to, $100. But that money, then we have to pay back the school, we have to pay back Dollar Ride, we have to pay back the library, we have to pay back all these entities who the tax money that was owed to. So I think it behooves us to grab it. Thank you, Honorable Mayor.
The chair recognizes First Ward Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. And this also went through Legislative Committee meeting, and we talked about some of those same questions that Commissioner Henry talked about. But a couple of those lots, two of them are located on Broadway, right across from June Woods Park. And so it will allow us to create parking for June Woods Park, because currently there's no parking around that particular park. So it'll allow us to flatten those lots and to use it as parking. And the other, one of them is on the corner lot on Fair. And so we need to own that particular one. And many of those lots are on corners, which will allow the city, if we needed to do anything special on some of those corners. But like Mayor Pro Tem talked about, we need to own and control those particular properties. And that was one of the reasons why we're purchasing those.
And I would just add, thank you, Commissioner Henderson. We procured the Mercy property, which was in tax foreclosure, and now we have Project T, where we'll have that property will be converted to housing, where we'll have 69 units, duplexes, and 10 homes, as well as commercial space. We also the two lots, as you mentioned, on Broadway, we'll be able to turn that into parking, because currently we do not have public parking for June Woods or Broadway Park. But we can turn those into lots, maybe have a couple EV chargers, lines, really beautify it and make it nice, as opposed to just weeds or grass. And then the property on Fair, I don't know the acreage, but that's a parcel that will complement the $32 million that will be used to completely renovate bus projects. So we want to put something adjacent or next to that that will complement that development. So I do appreciate, Mr. Manager, your vision in being able to, because you started out with how many? We started out with 25, but with the council, we asked, can you shave it down to the most precious parcels that's going to benefit the residents? And that's what he did. We do have more money coming in. I won't get into the total amount now. The manager can discuss that with the city council. I know you had talked about an additional 30,000. But we also have a significant amount where we can pay for these properties with no problem. Chair recognizes Commissioner Singleton.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Just, we need to mention also being able to control those properties or have the opportunity to purchase them has helped out in the past. There's been residents who lived in some of these homes that for some reason end up losing their homes for taxes and had been there for years, and the city was able to purchase those properties and keep the people in their homes and work out some type of deal. And if they didn't do that, then their only hope was the county, and the county wasn't thinking about that. So it is very important that we're able to control those properties.
I call for the question.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry, Commissioner Isom,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard, Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to staff communication.
No, you got number 6, Honorable. Honorable Mayor, you got number 6.
Man, I'm trying to, I'm sorry here.
Trying to get to the...
I'm trying to get to the benediction here. Resolution approving social district permit for Harbor Shores. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Motion is made by Commissioner Isom, and it is supported by
Support.
Commissioner Singleton. And in our discussion, I presume that if there is, I want to recognize our second ward commissioner, Commissioner Warren. I thought you said you wanted, okay, Commissioner Clark Griffin.
Well, I just want to say, first of all, Harbor Shore is not even in the Downtown Development Authority area. Should never have accepted as being part of the social district. That's ignored my hand to separate it so we can discuss it. So it's not part of the DDA, it's not in that area, it should not have never been added as part of the social district. Thank you.
Mr. Manager, you want to speak to this particular item?
Yes, sir. I could only say that the boundaries as they were drawn and showing on the map did include part of Harbor Shores in that district.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Henry.
So when we approved the district, was Harbor Shores in it? Was the mini course in it? Or did we expand it out? Tell me exactly how that happened, because my recollection that says they weren't in it.
Mr. Manager.
Part of this came up when they got into the discussion about the 100-foot right-of-way, which actually went further into that property than what people thought. There was a question about, traditional streets are 66 feet wide, 33 from the center line. But because this was set up differently, it was 100 feet in. And as we looked at what the boundaries were showing, it appeared that, as I said, part of it was in, part of it was not.
So the DDA, Downtown Authority, has an area, but Harbor Shores is not in that DDA area. So I'm trying to figure out, you're just telling me something about 50 feet and 100 feet, but it's not setting in as to what our intent was and what the DDA wanted from us with this social district. Now, the district, DDA's district goes from Territory all the way down to Empire, the whole riverfront. So, and that did not include Harbor Shores Golf Course, and it did not include Golf Course. And now we got a district that goes from almost where Gene Clark Park all the way back to Charles Yarborough Park, all the riverfront. So they can, in this social district, You buy a drink from one place, and you can walk all over this district and drink and talk and be social or whatever's going on. And the boundaries have changed in the last 6 months, and I'm a little disturbed about it because you keep including things that don't include us. So that's my problem with this resolution.
So the business has to apply, correct? So when we say, I don't want to speak to nobody's comments, but, one time downtown, we were very vibrant in the ownership. When we talking about black now, Lashik's, many other businesses. So, we in 2025, that's not what we're looking at today, for whatever reason. So if the businesses apply and we don't have businesses, then when we say, or we don't have certain businesses, then how can we say that the government is doing something that's excluding the people? And the business is the one that has to appeal to the government to be in this district. So we're only approving what is being presented. Now, 201 Graham Avenue, and I'm looking at this social district license application. Does the state of Michigan have any role in this or no?
They have to approve the business being in it, yes.
So the state has to
Yes.
approve it.
Mhm.
Has the state approved it yet?
It hasn't been submitted yet.
It has not been submitted
hasn't
yet.
been submitted yet.
So if the state of Michigan said that this business is not in the district or not in the proper lines, it can be denied.
That's correct. State has the last.
They have the final say.
Yes.
Okay. So we would just be responding to the application if it was approved, and then the state would look at it and they would approve or disapprove. Okay. So when we talk about, and I'm glad you mentioned this, Commissioner Henry, from Riverview all the way down over to Graham, because I'm looking 10 years max, 15 years, the type of businesses that's going to be dotting all the Riverview downtown area. What we're doing today is preparation and, ways to try and spur and get business, if it's a friendly, social friendly environment where people feel like their investment is going to make them money. That's ultimately, business, government, all we can do is set the environment or make the environment conducive for people to go in business, people stay in business, and people make money. And I do agree it shouldn't be for one and not the other. We should be able to accommodate and work with all businesses, black or white, in order to better Benton Harbor. So that's my perspective on it.
Make one more statement, please.
Well, why, of course you can.
I want to ask about the $50 application fee. That's a slap in the face, $50. So, if this does go forward, please, let's put a price tag on that. Harbor Shore is going to give us $50 a year, and anybody else that's downtown, because our money is not producing anything downtown because it's too high for us. A few of us got it for a while, but they're having rough times with it. They bought it for $1 or they bought it for $25 years ago. They're having a rough time right now. So for the application fee to be so low. If the fee went up a little bit, I might have consideration. I'm voting for this.
I call for the question.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats? Yes. Commissioner Clark Griffin?
No.
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry?
No.
Commissioner Isom?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard?
No.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.
This brings us to our staff communication. I want to recognize our Public Safety Director, Director McGinnis.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Commissioners. Good to see you all. Even the ones that's not smiling. And it's good to see the residents. I wish we still had everyone that was here. I got a couple things I want to say. So, in reference to the ordinance, we will be discussing that Wednesday. I think there has been some miscommunication and misunderstanding we'll talk about. But beyond that, one of the things I'm extremely proud of and excited about is the residents came out to have a conversation. We can agree, disagree, or get common ground, but if we don't have the conversation, then it never works. So there were some great comments that were made, and that excites me because we try to be transparent. We want to have conversations with residents. We want to hear what you have to say. We want to hear what your input and what's important to you. So I'm looking actually even more forward to Wednesday simply to have the conversations with the residents that are concerned about their city. So I thank you for that. And I honor you all for that. And I hope to see everyone back here on Wednesday. The other thing was, I can't remember, but I'm getting old. But as far as supporting our youth, as you know, I need you to support Tiger football. We're starting tomorrow 7-on-7. So we're talking about getting in and helping our youth. It's time to roll up our sleeves and get in and actually do it. So again, I thank you, the residents. I look forward to talking to you. Oh, I know what it was. I also know that as far as having contact with myself and Chief Abrams, Chat with the Chief is our podcast we have that's on Facebook and YouTube every Thursday, unless we're off or something, we have a meeting. But we take comments there. So again, we want to hear what you have to say. A lot of points were great points, Mr. Meeks, great points. White Boy Rob, totally agree with most what he said. And Robert Willie, we'll have a conversation with him before Wednesday, because if you're saying we want to get on the same page, city and residents, came to the right door, the right place. So I thank you for that. Have a great and blessed evening, and we will see you later, and go Tigers.
The chair recognizes our Assistant City Manager, City Clerk Moore.
Election is 1 month from tomorrow. We've gotten a lot of absentee ballots back already, but those that have not returned it, please get it back in a timely manner. Don't wait till 8 o'clock on Tuesday, August 5th, or it won't count.
Chair recognizes City Manager Little.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to say that increasingly I'm realizing that managing the city is kind of like going into a boxing ring with one arm tied behind your back, because you recognize that the vast majority of the needs are needs of the people for things that you don't have the money to do anything about. We're getting a lot of things done in the city that helps to move the city forward, but it's limited by what we get grant funds for. When we get grant dollars, we don't have the luxury of deciding what we want to do with them. If we get just like was mentioned about doing some of the streets and so forth, the grants weren't to do the streets, it was to do the utilities underneath them. And then once you dig up the street to repair and replace the utilities, you got to fix the street back. So You didn't get to walk around and say, this street will look better, this street will help, and this. We had to first deal with where the problems were with the utilities. And then once we did that, we repaired and put the street back. It's the same way if we get money, for example, to do something with the armory. I can't take that and fix an alley. When I try to do something with the alley, I got to get it out of general fund. I've had a continuous hard time, and I realize the city has had a continuous hard time getting people to understand that there were things done to the city with the emergency managers and so forth, and you're going to be living with that for a number of years. We're trying to overcome by doing everything else that we can to try to increase revenues, cut costs, and hopefully benefit from some of these things that are being done, like the DDA, like the social district, the other things that are going on in the city that are positive, that can help to bring people here, like Ox Creek and Hall Park and all of these things. But we still don't have general fund money to deal with general issues that need to be addressed. So we're continuing to try and do the best that we can with what limited ability we have. And that basically is what the city's situation is. And it would be the same whether I were here or not. It's going to be the same for several years into the future until we can successfully reduce the deficit that we run each year, largely caused by the actions that involve the water plant, the actions that involve the cemetery, and other things like that that we're dealing with. Every time a tree falls down, I got a picture sent to me this morning that another tree fell in Crystal Springs Cemetery. We got to go out and pay money, and that has to come out of general fund. I can't just do it any way I want. But we've got to do that because the tree fell, it's all over the place, it's knocked over tombstones, and I'm sure the owners will be upset when they come and see that. So we have to try and correct it.
Thank you. Commissioner Kennard.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I was just sitting here listening, and sometimes it takes all I can do to keep from just passing out from the things that I hear, the excuses that is always made about why you can't do this and that. I was just looking here at some figures here, and they have an engineering company that takes up a third of this page, just the monies that has to be paid out. And when it comes to us receiving the taxes, because everyone is supposed to be, that works in the city of Benton Harbor, is supposed to be paying into the tax. But then, if those people, this kind of dollars are being paid out, when it comes to paying the taxes in here, this city should run smooth. So then, the mayor says, we got more money than we ever had, and we're not broke. He said it.
Please let the mayor speak for himself.
Well, you have spoke for yourself. It's been
Point of
documented
order.
that it was.
Exactly.
And then the city manager said we broke. So which is it? Is we broke or we got plenty of money? So I'm telling you, just follow through as to what's being said. So a lot of things go over and the excuses go about, and we got to stop it and not be afraid to speak out. And like that young man said, we don't get answers and get some results, that this 9 here, it should be a change. And I don't care if it's me. If I'm not doing my job or speaking up for our people and see some injustices done, then I need to be replaced. And anybody else, because there was a room full of people, they had concerns. Why couldn't they get answers right away? They call, but they can't get answers. We need a finance director and he's not in place, but we got a company that's supposed to be taking care of the finance. How do we get answers about the finance? And that's what it takes to run this city. Now, if we're gonna go knocking on doors when it's time to vote, I need your vote. I can't make it without you. I'm gonna get things straight. Then another 4 years go by. The same lies told. We got to stop it. This is not right. Everything doesn't add up the way that they say that it is. So I might not be the smartest pencil here or smartest cookie, but anybody can know when something is not right, it's not adding up. So you tell me where the problem is. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Clark Griffin.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and everybody that's listening. First, I want to clear up something one of my colleagues said about the ordinance number 2, that, with people buying. Well, that's been a moratorium on lots for years before I even became commissioner. So residents can't even buy lots. So that definitely was not true. I know a lot of them that want to buy some, even in the 4th Ward. And as for commissioner, I can say that I do several times a year, which is not my job, but I do it. I do rehab resource fairs. I do senior care. In fact, my annual one is my annual resource fair giveaway, and we have food, we have everything to meet people's personal needs, or all kinds of resources, all the businesses I have meeting every need that I can think of, including veterans. And I also do senior care package and toy giveaway. All that is the resource fair giveaway and fall cleanup is coming up August the 23rd, next month. So yes, I do that a lot of money out of my pocket, and friends and other board members and stuff that I can get to help me for the city, because it's well needed, and I'm always about meeting people where they are with sympathy and empathy, and so trying to provide a great quality life. So those are things that I do. Those are the big things that I do in the community, and I do one every 3 months. But I do a lot of in-betweens, Feeding America, helping feed America, Me and Shelter, just going, helping the homeless, feeding them, clothing them, and a lot of other things in between all year. So this commissioner is doing things out of mostly my pocket because I care about the community. Y'all have a good night.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Henry.
Wow, it's it's hard to pass this one up. She got a lot of energy. I remember when I was first on board, I had that kind of energy. Now I'm only into throwing lugs from this end down that way. So I want to thank the citizens for coming out, and the ones that couldn't stay, the ones that's on YouTube listening, because over the years, this chamber has changed, and it's never full. And I understand, when you're hungry, when you're angry, when you're happy, you come. So this is a place to come. If you're not getting satisfied, if you call and you email and you don't get an answer, when you come here and sit there, someone is going to answer you. So the missing equation in government is the residents. When we can have a committee sitting here on every Wednesday night at 5:30 and no one shows, we don't even have a citizen representative to sit here and represent the residents. That's all by design, too. I saw that happen over the years. So if you hear me and you have 4 hours a month, that's all we need is you to come and sit in one of these committees. You'll gain a lot of information. Back in the day, we called it meat and potato night, because that was the day that the citizens got fed. And there was an opportunity to say, I don't like that, or I like it. But right now, all you're getting is your representative saying, you here, eat this. You're gonna like it. But now, when you don't like it, I see you come. We gotta find something that's gonna make you like us too. So keep coming and keep giving your input, because that's what's missing. I can only go by my feelings and the rest of us too, but we need your input as to what's going on in your life. And believe me, it's not happening just to you. It's happening to all of us. So come down and get involved. Call your commissioner, call your mayor. You got 5 elected officials that you can call on. 4 at large, 1 ward, and a city mayor. That's 5 people. Call your elected official and tell them what you want and how you want it. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Warren.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. So I want to touch on a couple of things that were discussed this evening. The first thing I heard someone talk about Abby March, and I just want to call out, I mentioned this at our last meeting. I was able to work with them, and we're going to have 3 Benton Harbor City youth do some paid job shadowing this summer. It is a step in the right direction. We're hoping to get some youth interested in majoring in engineering and the type of roles that Abbott March normally hires. So I want to just remind everybody of that. The second thing I want to talk about is a lot of people today, most of them are gone, but hopefully they'll watch this on YouTube, talked about there's nothing for our youth to do. And most recently, we heard about Black-owned businesses being downtown Benton Harbor. So I just want to call out, if we had as many people complaining about the youth not having anything to do, pooling their resources, creating something, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation. So maybe one person can't afford to open something, but if everybody who's complaining pulls together and pulls those resources together, we could do anything we wanted to do.
Point of order, please.
And there, well, there are summer jobs, but I won't address that, but there are summer jobs that the city of Benton Harbor does offer. In any case, back to my point. So I just want to make a note of that so everybody who's listening can think about that. So complaining really does not solve any problems, but doing something is what we need. So 10 people pulling your resources, create something for the youth to do versus complaining about it for years and years and years. So that's just my quick idea. The next thing I want to address is a couple people mentioned things like flipping commission seats, and I don't know if anybody realizes what commissioner this for the city in Benton Harbor. I want to share a couple things from my perspective. The first thing I want to share is the small stipend we get. We go to commission meetings, and I sit on 3 different boards. So that small stipend probably covers my gas. Most of the time I'm here because I want to be here. I'm here because I want to help the city of Benton Harbor. One other call out, you'll see at this election that some people don't even want to be a commissioner. You have seats that are not even being opposed. So I want people to understand that we're here because we want to be here. We want to make a difference. We want to make a change. This is not a prestigious role. I'm not getting rich off of spending all my time here when I'm a single parent. I could be at home with my child, but I'm here because I care about the city of Benton Harbor. So I just would like everybody to take that away. This is like volunteering our time. We're not able to go out and go on vacation or buy something nice with a little bit of stipend we get. We're pretty much providing our gas. So I hope everybody can at least realize that and understand that we are working to our best ability to do things right. And if somebody does not like it, if you don't understand or you don't agree with us, have the conversation. Today was great. I mean, it was about an ordinance, but I wish we could have this kind of turnout every single commission meeting. Wouldn't that be awesome? Finally, going to the second ward, we will have our yard, hopefully if the street is back up and running, we're planning on having our yard sale in September this year versus October. So I will keep everyone posted, but tentatively our community yard sale will be in September. If our street is not back in order, the street is pipestone, we'll go ahead and proceed with October again. That is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Commissioner Henderson.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, and I'd like to thank all of the residents who are still present tonight and everyone who came out, and especially those who spoke out. Like many of the commissioners have said, having a dialogue about something and having a conversation about something is how you solve issues. Even if you disagree, I think the chief talked about it, even if you disagree, at least you're having a dialogue about what's happening in the city. But one thing I'd like to talk about is the city of Benton Harbor has a lot of ordinances. When I was first elected, I got this big, thick book that had hundreds of ordinances in it. We already have a nuisance ordinance, and the nuisance ordinance is just being added to because of some of the issues that we've had. So we have a noise ordinance, and that's chapter 24. We have a minors ordinance, and that's chapter 23, and it's a whole lot of stuff in there. And one of those ordinances, it was against the law to spit on the ground. I didn't even know that until I looked it up. And I think somebody brought it up. I think it was Rob, talked about some of our ordinances being outdated. And I know going through these, because I am the legislative chair, the chief and I, we've talked about a lot of these ordinances that are updated and that need to be updated because we don't need them, a lot of them anymore, and some of them are just completely out of line. But we already currently have a nuisance ordinance. The only thing that we've done was to update it because of some of the issues and to preempt some of the stuff that's happening in the city. It's already in place, and it is detailed, so I would advise anybody, go on to our website. All of these ordinances are listed, because some people are violating the law and don't even know it. So if our police officers and if our code enforcement was to start enforcing every ordinance on the book, we would have some issues, because there are hundreds of them that exist that people don't even know about. But when we go to update it, and as the chief talked about, we're just being transparent about what we're trying to do. We're not trying to stop anybody's fun. We're not trying to hinder people having gatherings in their backyard. I don't even know how that even came out. Our goal is to stop mobile parties. 2020 was terrible. I had my elderly neighbors in their 80s, several of them, cars parked up on their grass. He came, knocked on my door, and it was probably 12 or 1 o'clock. You need to do something about this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, hey, hold up, wait a minute. But I could understand, he lived in that house for so long, and people disrespecting them, parking on their lawn. So we have a responsibility as a city. We're not trying to stop somebody's fun, but your peace, your ability to have fun ends where my peace is being trampled on, and the room and the neighbors and the residents' peace is being trampled on. We're not trying to stop no fun, but we have a responsibility. In fact, city government, the only two things that we are supposed to do, everything else is just extras. We are to provide protection and collect taxes. That's what a city is supposed to do, period. Everything else is extras. Everything else outside of collecting taxes and providing security for residents. So sometimes I think people don't understand what government's role is. There's been so much rolled into it and so much that cities have done. And I know the city of Benton Harbor at one point provided lots of services because we had hundreds of employees and we had lots of money coming in because we had a huge tax base. Our tax base has shrunk. So we can't provide the level of services that we need to provide, or at one point did. And so the stuff that we need to do, collecting all of the trash. Let's have a community meeting about all of the trash and the dumping that's still occurring, that people are doing, and people see it. Let's have a meeting. Let everybody show up about that so we can address those issues to see how we as a community can solve other issues other than having parties. I'm sorry, there is bigger issues in our city, and that is one of them because that creates a nuisance of its own. So my passion is there, like Commissioner Warren said. We ran for public office because we care about the city. We could be doing something else with our time. But we're here because we care about this city, and we want our city to be great for those who live in it. I digress. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Commissioner Singleton.
Everybody for coming out. Seen a couple of school folks. See Mr. Grady Clay all the way back to Bard School. And Mr. Lloyd was here. He's gone. you heard about those times about the bar school parties and the different locations that we had back in those days. But unfortunately, I feel bad that we don't have those outlets anymore. And I feel bad that for the people who try to put on things and their event get pretty much shut down because some of it is not particularly the event itself, but the outside folks who don't even go to an event, but they create the havoc outside the event. Even people in the yards, like the young lady said, that, been doing it every year and no problems and things. Certainly that ordinance probably was a little bit confusing when it came out, and it's not intended for people that's doing things the right way. It's not intended for that, and it's dealing with the situation when it becomes dangerous. I feel bad that the folks that can't have that opportunity because of the folks doing it. But I also feel bad for the 80-year-old man. People like that. That got to duck and go in the basement. Or worrying about ambulance getting down the street and stuff like that. And I'm glad that people came out to express themselves and begin the conversation. I think the chief hit it, saying that opens up the conversation, because it's going to take everybody to solve this problem, come up with a way that we can all enjoy, this community. I'm sure, and nobody in here wants to be in a situation where you can't get help when you need some help, or go along with situations that may allow for somebody to even get killed. So it's going to take all of us to get together to talk about how we're going to deal with this going forward. And that's not just these issues, that's issues as a whole with this city. Conversation got to be had. Sometimes it take a little confusion or something like this to bring people together. The mayor mentioned about the school. We got together to save that. But this is our community, so let's get together. Let's not point fingers and say this one is the enemy and stuff like that. You hear the Facebook chatter. A lot of times you hear comments from folks who don't have to live with some of the stuff that, we live with. They do their little thing and go back, to wherever they live at and be safe. But we want to keep it safe here, and we also want to be able to enjoy this community. The water plant is, I hadn't heard anything about the water plant going to be sold. That's matter of fact, we told the state we want to keep our water plant, and they said, okay, what are you going to do to keep it? And so we're trying to do those things. And one last thing with, the gardens, they need some water, but I heard the young man, and I was glad to hear him say that they would be willing to take up some donations to, pay for the water. That's how we're going to keep our plant. You just can't, give it away, and that water is being monitored. The state's saying, okay, if you're giving it away, why are you having these problems? So I'm willing to donate if he organized that. Matter of fact, I had made that suggestion myself. I'll put money into it. So if they organize that, I'll be one of the first to give or whatever. We raise money for a lot of other things. Let's raise some money. I think it's a good cause, so I'm out of time now.
Chair recognizes Commissioner Isom.
The Honorable Mayor, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I'd like to thank Mr. Sherman for the update about the dollar ride. And it was good to see everybody here tonight, coming together, for solutions. How can we solve this problem? On Hastings, Friday, we had a wedding party, a birthday party, and another party. There's about 4 parties going on. And, there's a couple of the people came to my house. I told them, just don't block the road and just stay safe, So me and my wife got out and walked before it was still early, but we walked through each all up and down the street, just socializing with people, talking to people, little kids running around playing on the water slides and all that. So it was a great time, and plus, the one lady gave us some greens. We just a plate of greens. We went to the last part, the wedding party. He gave me to-go container with some rib tips and some of that chicken. I went and sat on that steps and watched the people. But everybody we had a great time. I had barbecue sauce on my face, but just watching the people have a great time, people driving through, coming together. And I was thinking, I said, man, but you do in the back of your mind, what if something jump off, But I try to think positive, that we can do something, come together, just like coming tonight, and they'll be here, I'll be on the public safety meeting too, for solutions. Work together, the city and the residents of this city. And just like me and my wife went for a walk to the post office, 2 miles back to our house, but we said, let's stroll through Yarborough Park. Now, Yarborough Park had 5 garbage cans, 5 orange garbage cans plus the new ones. But all the trash was in the parking lot. I said, what? We met a Mr. Tony, I forgot his last name. He said, I've been doing this every morning. Me and my wife started helping him. And I said, we got 5 big old orange garbage cans out there, plus the new ones. And they had fireworks out there and all that. That's on the ground. I just don't get it. I don't know what, we need to do better, So if everybody do a little, it comes out to a lot. But I just understand that 5 they right there, 5, boom, boom, boom. But all the trash is in, liquor bottles and stuff like that. So we got to do better, keep our parks clean. I think we're coming together. We can do this. What else I got here? We voted on a lot of things tonight, social districts, stuff like that. Well, that's all I got right now. The Lions haven't opened up training camp yet, I don't think, but I will be giving you an update on the Lions, Detroit Lions. Thank you. Expect great things coming to Ben Harbor.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Thank everybody for coming out, everybody for listening. First, I'll say that with the water thing, it's commendable that the young man wants to get a water meter. Even when they fight a fire, we gotta measure the water that goes out of the water plant. So if the fire department shows up, we have to give account for that water that's going out there. When they were out there in the park and they were watering the kids, we got to give account for that water. I got a call from several residents, and in a certain area, won't get the address out, but it's one thing to come out and have a good time, and we want everybody to have a great time. But then and this is something that people need to know, that there's so many Ring Central cameras out here where people got them on their doorbells and they got cameras on their homes. When you see somebody using the bathroom next to your house or doing something like that on your porch, and I'm not saying that you can't have fun without using the bathroom outside, but who wants to wake up and have to clean up your whole yard? From bottles, debris, matter of fact, video people using drugs, and I ain't talking about smoking marijuana, I'm talking about using some strong drugs on video, right off the top of their hood, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And they got to get up and go to work in the next morning. So if we're going to have a designated area, I heard a lot about having fun, but I didn't hear a lot about cleaning back up behind ourselves. We've got a beautiful bathroom down there now at Yarborough Park, and now you'll see people pulling up on the lawn still. The bathroom, we had to lock the one bathroom because it got destroyed. So I'm with it. I mean, have a great time. But when it comes, we can't afford to clean up behind everybody. We're struggling with we don't want to pay them overtime right now. And then if you get 400 or 500 people in the area, we don't have the police force to be able to handle that. I mean, if you get 300 or 400 people, I don't think we had a police force to handle that amount of people. So I do want us to have a good time. I want us to have fun. I want it to be a place where Benton Harbor can, you have a beautiful beach out there. Nobody's saying don't have fun. But we are saying that there's been parties where they've come and we've lost some people. And I was listening to Commissioner Singleton, and he said something about nobody wants the 80-year-old man to come to the door, but nobody wants to get that knock on your door that your kid is gone, or your child is out of here, or your whoever is gone. So I'm with it. I understand it. You cannot legislate behavior, because even if you do put an ordinance in, somebody's going to do what they want to do anyway. But I will say that we should be adult enough to have a good time and go home. And I would ask that we get together with St. Joe Township. Why don't we have some pop-ups over there? Why don't we have some pop-ups in Coloma? Why don't we have some pop-ups? We might well pop up. Ben Harbor don't have to be the only pop-up spot. We all got cars. Let's pop up everywhere. And I'll support it. I'll put some money behind it. How about that?
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. I'd like to thank our Public Safety Department for the intention of providing a safe summer and doing your job. The first law of the universe is motion. The second law is order. And anytime something that's in motion has no order, it becomes self-destructive. And unfortunately, we have seen over the years where these gatherings have led to murders. Just a couple years ago, a young man was supposed to be going back to college the next day, was murdered. Recently, there was a party that started at somebody's home, but in the field across the street, it spilled over there, and somebody was killed. And I don't want to bring up all the bad. However, I think that when we look at, the police department trying to bring some order to having fun, this is where we see there's some concerns and there's some conversations that I'm so happy that we will have on Wednesday, because we want the public input, we want public participation. But I have to say, leaders lead because they know the way. And that's just the bottom line. I've been in office since 2010. I've been the mayor since 2016. And I've learned people, sometimes can be fickle. When you do what they want you to do, you're their main man. I'm glad I voted for you, Mayor. But as soon as you do something that they don't like, then now you a Sambo. You a sellout. You going against the will of the people just because I did something or voted some way that you did not agree with. I never will be one who moves to the whim of I voted for you. If you voted for me to do what you want me to do, you voted for me for the wrong reason. If you voted for me to do the right thing, not just for you, but for the whole, then you had the right motive. But I'm going to close on this. One way you really find out what's inside of somebody, because when the going is good, everybody love you. But tell somebody no, and you really see what's inside of them. Or disappoint them. If you really want to know somebody, disappoint them, and you'll really see the mask come off. So have a great evening. The best is yet to come, and God bless Benton Harbor. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion is made by Mayor Pro Tem Seats.
Support.
It's supported by Commissioner Clark Griffin. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Clark Griffin?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson? Yes. Commissioner Henry? Yes. Commissioner Isom? Yes. Commissioner Kennard? Yes. Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Seats?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion carried.
And I am running unopposed because my